PDubs Arcade Loft is a channel made by adults for adults only. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to PDubs Arcade Loft. Welcome to another episode of the Loft Report, your number 2 source for arcade news. So on today's video, we're going to discuss what AtGames brought to CES at the Showstoppers events and my final thoughts on their presentation and how CES went for them. Well, for starters, guys, AtGames was kind of like a ninja in the shadows throughout the week of CES. Right before CES, they announced on January 2nd, they sent out a press release, and the news was broken by my good buddy Steven over on the Tech Buzz. I'll post a link to his video because he'll go into more detail. Just want to highlight it real quick that AtGames and Taito have announced a partnership licensing agreement. So as you guys know, Taito has got some fantastic games: Bubble Bobble, Jungle Hunt, Puzzle Bobble, Quicks, and of course the legendary Space Invaders, among others. In fact, AtGames will now be able to have over 50 Taito arcade classics they can add to their product lineup starting in 2020. This is great news for AtGames because you could see AtGames taking these titles and putting them on flashback blast dongles with those controllers, and it sounds like they're going to be the real arcade ROMs instead of console ports. So the quality of the gameplay will be fantastic, as well as they'll be able to get these on the AtGames Legends Ultimate. Now, it has not been announced yet if these will end up being ArcadeNet games that you can download and stream and purchase, or whatnot. But it's still very, very exciting that AtGames is going to give us access to these particular games on their system. Okay guys, also, right before CES started, AtGames also released their Legends Ultimate firmware updates. They've released 3 firmware updates within the last week, which is great to see. Our 4.0 firmware gave everybody the official Bluetooth capabilities, so that means your Bluetooth devices, computers and such, but for a lot of folks in the community who love using those Raspberry Pis, this gets it up to date, and you're able now to use it with 2-player controls. I have upgraded to 4.0.0. I think that's the one I'm at as of the time of this recording, and it works pretty good. Actually, no, I apologize. One thing was wrong on the Bluetooth client. The trackball and spinner had some issues. They were unresponsive. So correction, I'm actually on 4.0.1 that came out the day before CES started, I believe, and so yeah, so now your Bluetooth does work, as well, player 1, player 2 controls, as well as your trackball and spinners. And what I'm going to do is I will post a video on this channel if you want to hit the subscribe button and walk you through how to connect a Raspberry Pi device via Bluetooth. I've had a lot of people request that in the comments sections of these videos. I do have a Raspberry Pi ready to go. It's got the Wolfenos 32GB arcade-only image on it, so I think it's got about 8,000 arcade-only games. So now that I have capture card software and things like that, I think you guys will enjoy seeing that walkthrough video, as well as show you some of the games included on that image. In addition, guys, it's great to see that not only do we have high score leaderboards for Burger Time, but they've added 2 more games. They've added Tetris, they've added Fix It Felix. I myself, you might see me there, number 4 on Tetris, PDubs Arcade Loft dub, 43,000. At one point I was number 2. I laid down a challenge on one of the fan pages, said, hey, whoever can knock me down, the first person to knock me down and take over that number 2 spot will win a flashback blast dongle. And I believe it was Major Lamont beat me, and whatchamacallit, I need to ship him his prize. So that prize is coming, Major Lamont. Obviously, with me being away at CES, I wasn't able to do it, but I'll get it out to you shortly. Great to see that the leaderboards are expanding. Alright guys, so what about AtGames at CES? So AtGames, of course, was not in the main show floors like Arcade 1-Up, II Arcade, and others, Toy Shock, etc. They were at the Showstopper event again, which is held off-site from the main convention hall. I believe this year it was at the Wynn, and they did have a nice booth set up where they were highlighting their Legends Ultimate machine. These pictures were posted by the AtGames themselves. This obviously was before or after hours, so we get a nice little look at their setup, especially when they're doing additional videos and things of that nature, you know, interviews and such. Now, all they did was show off their AtGames Legends Ultimate machine, as well as some of the features, including the games that are included, as well as the bring your own game features, such as... Okay guys, so what does this mean? Now, AtGames obviously didn't make a big splash at CES. They didn't approach CES 2020 like, let's turn this into a gigantic extravaganza and announce new products and new outlets or new things coming down the road. And actually, I think it may have been the best way to go for them, because they do have just the one Legends Ultimate machine. Firmware and features are still being added, and it sounds like a really good way to go about, let's make this machine, let's perfect this machine, because, you know, it's been produced. There's probably, what, 3,000 of these out there, if I had to guess, and keep in mind, disclaimer, I have no clue, that's just a guess. And, you know, obviously we're going to see them producing and shipping a lot of these after, you know, after Chinese New Year, things of that nature. We're going to see probably an abundance of stock available. They're hard to come by right now. So, you know, it makes sense. It makes sense. Let's perfect this machine and go from there with all the new firmware and features. Now, myself, I'll own it, myself and other content creators, we all made predictions. We all said, we're going to see a new machine, because that's what we like to see at these kind of big events. Show us the new machine. I myself predicted we would see a new machine, not a pinball. I was hoping to see something else, whether it was a cocktail table, a connected cocktail table, a connected bar top, or any other kind of connected arcade machine. But now that I go ahead and think about it, this actually kind of makes sense for them, and I totally respect it. Let's make this Legends Ultimate machine the best it can be for the gaming community, and then once that's perfected, look forward to seeing the launch of something new. I would love for them to come out with a pinball machine, bar tops, cocktail tables, all connected using their technology. Would love to see it. Okay guys, one last thing. So AtGames did drop one nice new feature at CES, and it's being beta tested right now by a bunch of beta testers, including myself and Cool Toy and Glen's Retro Show and the Tech Buzz, Stephen Haywood, and that's the AtGames My Cloud Game Room feature. So this is the latest bring your own game feature for the system. And what's really cool about this one is the MGR feature will allow AtGames Legend Ultimate owners to play from their own cloud-based PC. That's right, you'll get your own cloud-based PC up in the cloud, and from there you can install your own game software and store applications. It's online multiplayer ready, and you can host up to 3 of your ArcadeNet friends and play multiplayer. I'll post a link in the video below from Stephen Haywood and the Tech Buzz, where him and Glen's Retro Show did a demonstration, the first demonstration of this feature. One of my 3 wishes, as always, for AtGames when they announced their connected arcade was, give us the ability to play against each other. And with their recent updates, you can now, for the ArcadeNet, for all the ArcadeNet games, you can play against your ArcadeNet friends. And then, of course, with the My Cloud Game Room feature, you can play against friends all over the world and play games that are on a cloud-based PC. So that means, that's right, guys, if you don't have a PC in your home, you can just use this. So once again, AtGames is providing us ways to play thousands upon thousands of games from one single arcade machine, and it's pretty cool. So my final thoughts are, AtGames played it quiet. They were like ninjas in the night. And if you had to ask me, was this a mistake for them not to go all out at CES? Or was this best for business? I'm going to tell you right now, I think what they did was best for business. Let's get this machine perfected. Let's get the inventories full. Let's get this machine distributed nationally, worldwide. And then, of course, from there, later on this year, we would love to see new connected products from AtGames. Definitely have high hopes seeing how 2020 is going to end for them. Okay guys, do me a favor, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I got other CES wrap-up videos for other companies that you don't want to miss, talking about what I've seen, what I've experienced, and what we think about those products coming out. Also, I'll be doing additional AtGames videos in the next week or two. We definitely want to show you guys, now that the Bluetooth is fully functional, want to show you the Raspberry Pi connectivity step by step, and also show off how those features work. We'll do the My Game Room cloud-based features. I'm sure you'll see me partnering with fellow content creators on that, and you definitely don't want to miss that stuff. Appreciate you tuning in, hanging out upstairs with us in the Loft, and thanks for tuning in to PDubs Arcade Loft and the Loft Report, your #2 source for arcade news. Please hit that subscribe button. Have a great day.